You don't feel the shirt against your skin except at the moment you put it on and the moment you take it off. In the long hours between these two moments, while it's wrapped around your body, you don't sense it at all. It clings to your skin, encircles your chest, back, and arms, yet you are oblivious to its presence. Similarly, a woman is keenly felt when you start the journey towards marriage. During the phases of acquaintance, engagement, the signing of the marriage contract, and the honeymoon, her presence is vivid and intense. But once she fully envelops you, much like your shirt that wraps around your chest, back, and arms, you cease to feel her presence. She becomes like a piece of furniture in your home that you see every day, remaining in its place, much like a view from your window that captivates you the first time, but soon becomes ordinary and eventually fades into the background. A woman remains as unnoticed as your shirt until the moment a conflict arises between you. When your marriage teeters on the brink of divorce and you begin the painful process of parting with her, akin to removing your shirt, it is then that you feel her presence with intense clarity. Your heart trembles at the thought of losing her. This dynamic of marriage, often referred to as a happy marriage, is one where affection persists and the relationship between the couple unfolds in a calm, steady rhythm. In this routine, each partner's awareness of the other diminishes, and the initial spark that once lit up their hearts gradually fades away. What is the secret behind this phenomenon? The secret lies in the chemistry of our nerves. Our nervous system is designed in a special way. It reacts to moments of transition, but becomes desensitized to continuity. When you suddenly open a window, the noise from the street floods your ears. But as the noise persists, it gradually becomes less noticeable. Similarly, when you ride an elevator, you feel it at the moment it starts moving and the moment it stops. Yet, during the long minute between these moments, you don't feel it because its movement becomes constant. The same happens when you look at the sun for the first time. Your eyes are overwhelmed by its brightness. But as you grow accustomed to it, you can gaze directly at it without feeling affected.
When you live with consistent good health, you don't feel this health. You only remember it when you fall ill. Similarly, when you are first imprisoned, you lose weight in the initial months because you sense the difference between the air of freedom and the air of the cell. But gradually, you get used to the cell and lose the feeling of its confinement. You start eating with appetite and gain weight. Continuity kills sensation, for our nerves, by their very nature, are incapable of feeling persistent stimuli. We are made from mortality, and we only recognize things in the moment of their demise. We appreciate our wealth when it slips from our hands. We value our health when we lose it. We realize our love when it's gone. When something stays in our hands, we lose the sense of it. How can a wife keep her husband's love and make it last? There is only one way. She must change. She must transform into a new woman every day. She should never give herself to her husband completely, fleeing from his grasp the moment he thinks he has captured her. She should nestle in his arms like a chick the moment he thinks he has lost her. She should surprise him with unexpected displays of affection and distance. She must surround herself with an ever-changing atmosphere. She should change the house decor and vary the food she serves and how she presents it. The wife must be like a courtesan to keep her husband's heart youthful and passionate. Similarly, the husband must be an artist to keep his wife's love burning brightly. He must renew himself in his attire, his speech, and his flirtations. He should change the joke he tells at the end of the night and vary the way he spends the weekend. He must keep a surprise ready to astonish his wife at any moment. In essence, to maintain the freshness and vibrancy of a relationship. Both partners must embrace change and renewal, keeping the spark of love alive through the dynamic and unexpected. In the old days, a wife would willingly accept her husband as her fate and destiny. She loved him as one loves the will of God. A man married to live his life, and marriage succeeded because it was fortified by a divine will stronger than love, stronger than happiness, stronger than everything. A wife loved her husband when he was good and when he was bad. She loved him in sickness and in health. Her love, in truth, was more a form of piety and faith than mere affection. But now wives read newspapers, go to the cinema, and listen to the radio. They demand continuous romances like those of Rock Hudson. For a marriage to thrive today, the husband must be a juggler, and the wife must be a juggler too. Both must spice up the pie of love daily. Of course, marriage now is more delightful than it was in the past, but it's also exhausting and full of its own problems. Personally, I prefer a marriage where I can rest, rather than one where I have to flip and twist every day to stimulate my wife's nerves and keep her love renewed and her appetite for me fresh. I would rather my wife love me out of piety. In that way, I become her lord, her man, her home, her life. Our love would endure because it is based on faith and belief before it is based on love. But where are those days? These are dreams now. Today, in this generation of cunning women, we have nothing but the antics of Rock Hudson. We have no choice but to tickle our wives' nerves and serve emotional appetizers of all kinds to keep them, and for them to keep us. These words evoke a nostalgia for a simpler time when relationships were less about constant excitement and more about enduring devotion. They reflect a yearning for a form of love that is steadfast and deeply rooted in faith, rather than the fleeting thrills of modern romance.